In this video, I make many personal decisions about my guinea pig's health and what I can do to help and improve it. These decisions are in no way a reflection of what you should do and are not advice in any way. I am not a professional or licensed vet and cannot speak to medical decisions or provide advice. Please consult your exotics veterinarian if you have medical or health concerns.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. For today's video, I am adopting my 8th guinea pig, which is a little bit surprising even to myself because I know for a while I said that I was going to stop at 7. But here we are. Like I said, never say never. I'm adopting my 8th guinea pig. So this guinea pig that I'm going to get in like literally 30 minutes, it is a female and she is my dream guinea pig coloring. So I've posted a bit about it on my Instagram, but I've really wanted for a while to own a cream Callie guinea pig. And I wasn't really expecting to find one because they're like not very easy to find. You don't really see them in like rescue situations or anything like that. So I really had just thought that it would be like something in the distant future that would happen. But then I heard about a local breeder near me who was actually shutting down her entire program due to like some family personal stuff. So she is going to stop her breeding program and therefore she is rehoming all of the pigs that she has. So because of this, because she is a breeder who breeds Callie guinea pigs, she was rehoming a decent amount of Callies and skinnies and just all of the pigs that she had. She was giving them out to new pet homes. So I am getting a pig from her that she is rehoming, and she is a 1.5-year-old cream Callie, and I'm very excited. I literally did not think that an opportunity like this was going to come around. I thought I would just like have to wait a while until I found one in a rehoming situation, and then this breeder is rehoming all of her pigs. So it was like, here it is. Like I could not pass up on this opportunity to own a cream Callie. So here I am adopting my dream guinea pig. I am very excited. She is going to be bonded with my trio of girls, Peanut, Pepper, and Marshmallow, and I'm just very excited. I have seen so many photos of her, and she is one of the most beautiful guinea pigs that I have literally ever seen. So I'm really excited. I already have a temporary setup for her in my bedroom. I would put her in the pig room on the ground, but I'm gonna be honest, there isn't really even room for a temporary setup on the ground in here. And then we will do the bonding, and then hopefully she will move in with my trio of girls. The trio's cage is 23.5 square feet, so it has room for a 4th. So I'm really hoping that she bonds well with them. And yeah, I will give you guys more details about her once I have her and once you guys can see her. I don't want to put up a picture because I feel like a picture will not like do her beauty justice. I know that sounds so corny, but she looks so pretty in pictures and I just want you guys to like see her when I have her in person. So I'm really excited. I don't know what I'm gonna name her yet. Her current name is Stardust. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I do kind of like it as a name in general, but all of my guinea pigs have food names, so I don't know if it is okay for me to like break my food themed name. So I'm just gonna have to meet her to know, I think. But I'm about to leave to go get her. It is a 2-hour drive there and a 2-hour drive back, so it's going to be quite a bit of driving, but definitely worth it for my dream guinea pig. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly show you all my temporary setup for her, and then we will be on the road. So this is the playpen that I have set up in the corner of my bedroom. It has the solid size, so there's no place to hang a water bottle. So I've created this little triangle out of CNC grids, and I will hang the water bottle from there. And then she's gonna have 2 hides, and then this is where I'm going to put her hay in this little corner litter box. It's the largest litter box that I had, so I'll just put a big mound of hay in there and that will be fine. But this is her setup, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the carrier as well. All right, and then this is the crate that I have for her. This is the crate that I use for pretty much all of my guinea pigs. I have also like
this one, which I think will be too small for her based off the photos. And then I also have a like medium-sized one, but this one's my sturdiest crate, so I just went ahead and used this. I've got bath mat, huge pile of hay, and then I'm gonna put the tunnel from her pen in here. So that is it for the crate.
And now I am off to go get her. I am so excited and also like really nervous. I cannot believe that like I'm getting my dream guinea pig so soon. I was not expecting this to happen at all, like I said, but it was just too good of an opportunity to pass up, and I have space for one more and everything. So I figured, you know, why not? So I'm gonna go pick her up and I will give you guys some updates when I have her. Here she is. I just picked her up about 30 minutes ago and I'm at a rest stop now, so I thought I would show you guys her. I don't know if she's been eating at all on the carrier. Some guinea pigs eat fine in the carrier, some don't eat at all, so I'll have to make sure she eats something when we get home. But she's so cute. All right, everyone, so I just got home and I have her in the carrier right here to show you guys. She definitely seems a little bit freaked out, so before I put her in her pen, I am going to give her some critical care just to make sure that she has something to help encourage her to want to eat. But I also have here a bag of the pellets that she was on, so I'm probably going to work on switching her from these pellets to the Oxbow Garden that I feed within the next week before she's bonded with my other girls, so that she will already be on the same food as them. This is her. She literally is like the most beautiful guinea pig that I have literally ever seen. So I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but she is actually a satin guinea pig, and she was not intentionally bred to be a satin. It literally just like popped up in the lineage. So because she is a satin, I will be keeping an eye on her for satin syndrome in case she happens to develop any of the symptoms of that. She is a little over a year, so she's already past the age when satin syndrome typically starts showing symptoms and starts developing, but it can still happen later in life. So I am fully aware of that, fully prepared, and will be looking out for any symptoms of that for anyone who is worried. So here is a closer look at her. I'm feeling a little attached to her current name, which is Stardust. I kind of want to stay with my food theme, but I also just like can't let the idea go of her name being Stardust. So I'll have to get to know her a little bit better and decide then. But I'm gonna go ahead and feed her some critical care, and then I will be putting her in her pen. Okay, so she is in the pen. I tried to feed her some of the critical care, but it mostly just like sat in her mouth, and then I would put too much, then it would just like kind of come out because she wasn't actually swallowing. It was just sitting there. I heard her like massage her cheeks a little bit, and she ate a very small amount. I saw her mouth move like once when I was trying to syringe feed. So she got a little bit, but not as much as I would have liked. And now she's just hiding in the tunnel. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit, keep an eye on her, maybe cover part of the pen, make it a bit more darker. I'm just gonna keep a very close eye on her. I've got her water bottle in there. That's what the grids are for. I just added it. So I'm just gonna keep an eye, make sure that I see her eat soon. If I don't see her eat within the next maybe hour or so, I'll take her out and try the critical care again, because I need to get her eating, because guinea pigs need to be eating to get their gut moving and everything. So I'm gonna try to do that and just keep an eye on her for the next little bit. She is very beautiful, but very shy, and I want her to sort of come out and eat and just make so I can see that she is eating, because that's what's really important to me right now. So I'm just going to be keeping an eye on her and waiting for her to start eating. All right, so I left her alone for a couple of hours. I was trying not to handle her at all, but I still have not seen her leave her area or eat. So I've been trying to syringe feed her at least a little bit of critical care, just because I want to make sure that she has something in her system so that she doesn't go into GI stasis, because she needs to keep eating. So she's taking this okay. A lot of it is just dribbling out. I'm gonna have to change my pants, as you guys can see, but I just feel really bad. I don't know what else to do. I guess she just needs more time. I know I don't really want to be handling her right now because I don't really want to be freaking her out, but I also need her to be eating. I'm going to be stopping, and I'm going to put her back with some peppers. I don't know if moving her to the pig room where she could hear the other pigs would be helpful. So I guess I'm just going to be waiting longer, leaving her alone. I'll check on her again before I go to bed, but there's not much more I can do besides like keep it dark and quiet in here and just hope that she comes out of her shell. So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn off the lights and just leave her alone for a few more hours. Okay, so I actually went ahead and moved her into the guinea pig room. You can see that the space is pretty tight, which is the reason that I didn't keep her in here initially. But I thought that maybe having her able to hear all of the other guinea pigs would be helpful. I'm going to check on her again in 2 hours and feed her more critical care. I don't want her going into GI stasis. I'm going to keep feeding critical care, and then hopefully she will be able to hear the other guinea pigs, and that will help her come out of her shell and move around and eat. She's in this wooden house right now with plenty of hay and peppers in there, so hopefully she will start eating while she's in there. All right, everyone, so it is now actually 11 p.m. I just finished feeding her more critical care, more water. I also tried to syringe feed her some carrot baby food that I happen to have on hand. Just carrots, organic, like no other ingredients, just to try and maybe if that would taste better. But she just lets it sit in her mouth until like a majority of it sort of just dribbles out. I think she's definitely getting some because I'm putting the syringe so far back that it would be kind of hard for her not to get at least a little bit. But it's clear that she is just not socialized at all. Like, it's honestly really sad that the person who had her didn't socialize her at all. Like, she's terrified of the smallest of noises, like the syringe on the bowl. When I was sucking up the critical care, she would jump every time it would tap the bowl. So like that's something that like there's nothing I can do for that at the moment. Like, there's nothing I can do for the fact that she is literally so skittish and so unused to like being around people that is her reaction to like regular household noises. Like, I don't think there's anything I can do for that for her at the moment. I am going to bed, not for long, just for a couple hours. Then I'm going to get up in 2 to 3 hours and syringe feed her again, because I have not seen her poop, and it's 11 p.m. and I picked her up at 2. So that is what, 9 hours, and I haven't seen her poop, which is not good. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, keep syringe feeding critical care. I've been giving her little stomach massages as well, trying to encourage her to move around. So I'm hoping that once I just turn the lights off and go to bed, the darkness will sort of help her and she hears the other pigs doing their pig things. So yeah, I'll be back with an update at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna film in the middle of the night when I'm like doing the critical care feedings, but I'll definitely be back with an update soon. I did not expect this to go like this. I thought she would like settle in pretty well. So yeah, I will be back with an update soon. All right, everyone, good morning. It is 8:30. So I got up in the middle of the night around 5 a.m. To check on her, and I was going to feed her some critical care, but then I noticed, very good news, she had actually pooped quite a couple of times. So I only fed her the smallest amount and then put her back, because I figured if she was pooping, it would get her gut going, she would start eating on her own. So this morning I woke up at 8 a.m. and I didn't see any more poop, I don't think, than I did at 5 a.m. It's a little bit hard to tell because, like, how do you tell what's new and what's old? But originally it was all in one spot and I didn't see any in any other spot, so I kind of figured maybe she hadn't been going that much more. So I went ahead and syringe fed her water, because I don't think she's left that house, which means she hasn't drank water from her water bottle. So her only water is the water in the critical care and any water I syringe feed her. So I syringe fed her a whole syringe of water, and then my critical care is pretty liquidy to make it to go in the syringe, so there's a lot of water content in that as well. And then as I was trying to feed her the critical care, you know how guinea pigs food just kind of like stays in their mouth? It came back green, like when she spit it up, like more green than the critical care color. So I'm thinking maybe she ate something, maybe hay or veggies, or at least tried something, because that was a strong shade of green that I think means she ate something else. So that's really good. It was still really hard to syringe feed her the critical care. She still just like lets it sit until it just pulls out the front, and I try to get the syringe back as far as I can. I know she gets a little bit because it's not all coming out, but I'm like constantly like wiping her chin and stuff. It's just a whole mess, but that's what I've done for now. And then I put her back, and I moved the pee pad with the poops to a different location, so that way I can see if she poops under the hide in the next couple hours. So that's what I've done for now. I actually have to go to class now, so I only have 2 classes, so I'll be back in probably around like 4 hours. So I'll be back then to check on her. Since I have seen her poop, I am a little bit less worried about GI stasis because she has pooped. But since she hasn't eaten a ton on her own, that's making me a little bit anxious. So I'm trying to come back and check after class to see if she's pooped in the house where she normally is, because I moved all the poop out of there to see if she has. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm definitely very overwhelmed by this, trying to get her to like stay calm in her new environment while also having to handle her in order to syringe feed her. So I will be back in a couple of hours with another update for you guys.
All right, welcome to my kitchen. I just got back from class, and I'm sorry the lighting here is literally awful. I didn't know where else was a good place to do this. She looks like she pooped. I have her right here. She's very, very scared, but I noticed her eyes are looking a little crusty, so I have an old lubricating eye drops here that I had to use on one of my other guinea pigs a while ago when they had a hay poke, and they're not expired yet. They're still good to use, so I'm gonna give her some of these to help with her eyes. I think they're just dry. And then her nose has some dry skin as well, so I'm gonna give her some antifungal cream on it's like the top of her nose, like where her fur is, not like her actual nose, it's right above it. So I'm gonna give her some of this as well. And then I'm also going to be syringe feeding her water and more critical care. She's very scared, and it's just really hard to do all of this, but I need to make sure that she continues to get water because she's not leaving that house. So she's not going to the water bottle on her own. Again, sorry for the literally terrible lighting. I have been taking this a lot slower than the past critical care feedings, and I think I'm getting more actually like down her throat and into her system. So that's really good. I'm trying to go as slow as possible. She's scared even when like if I'm still for like a little bit and then I like even gently move, she'll get freaked out by that. So it's just really sad. You know, I didn't know much about the breeder who had her, but after seeing the way that she's acting, it's very evident that she is not well socialized. Like, I get it that guinea pigs are scared when they come to new homes and that some guinea pigs are skittish, but this level of skittishness I have not seen in any of my guinea pigs who I brought home, or in any guinea pig in general. We're not loud people. But it's enough for her to get freaked out over like doors opening and closing, someone sneezing in the other room, the syringe on the bowl, when I set something down on the counter next to her, even gently. It's really, really sad. So I'm really glad that this breeder is rehoming all of her guinea pigs, because if all of her guinea pigs are socialized as much as she is, then that's just sad. Like, I hope her other guinea pigs are socialized more than she is, because this is really sad. So I think she had them in like a shed or a different house, or like some type of living situation where all of her pigs were separate from the house and separate from like household life, so they never heard any noises that you would make in a house, like people sneezing, doors opening and closing, water from the tap scared her. So like, it's really sad, and it's really hard because I'm kind of stuck with what to do. There's not much I can do to make her less skittish besides just like go as slow as I can and leave her alone when I'm not feeding her, and just like that's all I can do. I'm only handling her in her pen every few hours when I'm doing the feedings. I have it covered all the other times, and I think once she lives with the other girls, maybe she will warm up a bit, but I want to make sure that she's healthy and she's eating before I do that bonding. So that's the update for now. I'm gonna finish giving the critical care, and then I'll put her back in her pen. Since she's eating a little more now on her own, I've seen more poops, I'll probably wait closer to 4 or 5 hours before doing more feedings. But yeah, that's where we are right now. So I just checked on her, and we do have poops. I will show you guys. I cleared out the entire area under here so I can monitor. You can see we've got all those poops right there. Put that back over her. So she has not left this house, but she has been eating the hay in here, I'm assuming, because she is pooping. I don't know if the poop is solely from the critical care or also from eating the hay. So I'm going to keep feeding her critical care until she like starts to be comfortable enough that I see her out and moving around. But she is pooping, which is really good. So I'm just grateful for that at this point. All right, so update. It is now Monday, about 10-11 p.m. I'm about to go to bed. I just finished doing my last syringe feed of her before I go to bed. I gave her critical care, water, also some carrot baby food that I have in a syringe, and then also more eye drops and more antifungal ointment on the tip of her nose. And I've also added a water bowl into the house that she's been hiding in. I realized that there's like no way she's going to come out for that water bottle. So I don't know if she knows how to use a bowl. I don't know, but it's better than not having an option in the house at all. So I've added a water bowl inside the house, and I'm probably gonna get up in the middle of the night and at least make sure that she's pooped. If she's pooped, I might just leave her be through the rest of the night and not do any midnight syringe feeding like in the middle of the night if she's pooped. I was having issues where she hadn't pooped from like 6 to like 9 p.m. and I took her out at 9, didn't do any feeding, but just got her moving around and massaged her stomach a little bit. And then when I checked her just now around 10:30, she had pooped before I syringe fed her more. So that's really good. So I'm just gonna check in the middle of the night probably to make sure that she has pooped. And if she has, I'll probably just leave her be, just because I think she is eating something on her own. Like I said, when I go to syringe feed her, sometimes like it comes back this green color when I'm just giving her water, which means there's got to be something in her mouth, and it wouldn't have been the critical care from like 4 hours before. She had to have eaten something. So I'm really hoping that if she eats even more tonight, maybe warms up a little bit since it'll be dark in there. She's got veggies and everything. So yeah, that's the update, and I'm going to bed, and I will be back in the morning with more updates. All right, everyone, I am back. It is now Tuesday in the afternoon around 1 p.m. I just got back from my afternoon classes. So last night at about 4 a.m. I went and I checked on her to see if she had pooped, and she had pooped. So I didn't do any feeding in the middle of the night because she had pooped. So I just covered her back up and left her alone. And this morning I woke up at about 8 a.m. to check on her again. It was hard to tell if she had actually pooped more since the 4 a.m. check, because there wasn't really the amount of poop that I think there should be for the entire night. I don't think she had pooped as much as like healthy guinea pigs eating normally will poop, but she had pooped, so I will take it. And this morning I noticed she had also eaten all of her red sweet pepper and some of the leafy greens that I had given her. I'd given her spinach and arugula, like more nutrient dense veggies. Since she hadn't been eating that much, I wanted to get nutrients into veggies if she was going to be eating them. So she did eat her veggies, and I have to assume she ate a little bit of hay. I cannot really track her hay eating progress. I also cannot see her in the hide because she's like back in the corner, so I can't see if she's eating. I can't tell if she's eating the hay, but I can tell that she was eating the veggies, so I took that as a good sign of progress. I did syringe feed her water and a small bit of critical care this morning, just to make sure that in case she hadn't eaten or wasn't hydrated enough, like it couldn't really hurt to try to syringe feed her some of that. But I think from now on, as long as she continues to poop, I'm going to stop syringe feeding, just because I think
taking her out so much is stressing her out a little bit. So I'm going to try not to continue to syringe feed her unless she stops pooping again. So I'm about to check on her just in a minute. I just got back from class. So I'm gonna check on her and see if she has poop since this morning. I've been like changing out pee pads every time I check on her because since she hasn't moved, she's like soaking each pee pad every time I check on her. She's not like peeing in a different area. She's peeing in the same spot over and over and over and over. So it also allows me to check if she's pooping and stuff because she's not leaving that hide, so I can like easily tell if she's pooped in there or not. And this morning I also gave her more antifungal cream on her nose and also more eye ointment. It's hard to tell what the situation is with those. I don't think it's a URI because she's not sneezing, but also I really just don't know. It's kind of not my main focus right now. I need her to like eat and move around first. I would consider a vet trip to have that looked at if she literally wasn't like so close to not eating. I think having her go in the car again is going to make her stop eating again, and it's not something I can chance right now. For now, she is the eyes and the nose, she's not sneezing, it's not like getting worse or anything, so I'm gonna deal with that after I get her to eat. That's sort of the update. Let's go ahead and check on her and see if she has pooped at all since this morning. So, hi baby. It looks like we've got 1 pepper, but I had given her 3. So here's 2 over here. And then I gotta check to see if you pooped. We've got a couple of poops right here, and they're a normal shape and everything. I can't get the camera to focus, but you guys can see even though it's blurry, they're like a normal shape. And she's got a couple here. Not as many as I would like. All right, so I've got a water bowl in there, and then I moved her water bottle to actually be like where the spout is going right into the hide. I'm gonna cover her back up with a blanket and hopefully maybe she will drink from the water bottle. I don't want to put it completely blocking her in the hide, even though she literally has not left that hide at all. I still want to give her the opportunity. So I'm gonna have it like this for a while, and then I'm gonna come back and check on her again. I put a bunch of green leaf lettuce in there that was soaked in water, so hopefully that can help her be hydrated too. Some of her poops are tear-shaped, which usually means they're dehydrated and she's not taking water from the syringe very well. So I'm hoping the lettuce in the bottle like this will help that. So I'm gonna check on her in a couple hours, see how her poops are looking, and if I need to try to syringe feed, I will. I just don't think it's been very effective because she doesn't really swallow it. It just eventually comes back up. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. She's eating, and she's eating like she's never eaten before. So just for reference, it's now like 6 p.m. and about an hour ago, I was literally about to take her to the emergency vet because she wasn't eating and she had only pooped 3 times in about 4 hours. And I decided to take her out and like encourage her to walk around the floor. And then I brought her here to syringe feed her, and she just started going crazy. It was like all the energy just came back to her all of a sudden when I went to syringe feed her. She started like resisting the syringe feeding. She was like pushing back. She was like moving around the counter. She was exploring, not running. And I was like, what is happening? So on a whim, I put lettuce in front of her, and then she just started eating it. So now we're literally just throwing every food in front of her that we can. I am speechless. I don't know what I did to get her to eat like this in front of me, just on the counter. I honestly have no clue. So the only things that we did are we encouraged her to walk around the ground, and we got her to move around a little bit, and then I fed her a small amount of Benebac, and then she just started acting like this. I'm honestly speechless. I'm really, really happy. I was so worried I was gonna have to take her to the exotics vet, like the emergency one, and pay like hundreds of dollars, but now she's pooping. Look at all of this. They're definitely not normally shaped poops. Like, they're 100% not normal poops, but it's poop. And at this point, I am not complaining. So I've done it. I don't know how, but we've done it. So a little update. It is later in the day at about 11 p.m. And as you can see, I finally have her eating hay. Literally so happy with that. When I checked on her about an hour ago, she had not pooped, and it did not look like she had eaten since last time she was on my counter. So I took her back out.
did the exact same thing. Took her to my bedroom, let her roam around on the floor, massaged her stomach, made her move around and stuff, then brought her to my counter, and just like before, took her about 5 minutes where she was super skittish, and then she like came right around and just like completely turned around, was moving around, trying to explore my counter, was eating like just like she is now. So like literally insane. I don't know what it is about the counter. I also excused my counter. I was not expecting to film my counter this much, but for some reason the counter is the place where she wants to eat. So that is what we're doing. We're doing a long eating session right now. I'm doing some homework over here, standing here, watching her eat and poop. She's pooped. She's been eating hay, which is really good. For a while, she was only eating veggies. It was making her poop kind of runny and very wet, but now she's eating other things and also that carrot. But now that she's more active, she's been more rejecting the syringe feeding. She'll like really push me away, and it's really hard to do it. But sometimes if I like threaten her with the syringe, she'll push it away and then go and start eating other food. Like she knows that that's what I want her to do. I don't know if that's like something she can actually comprehend, but I'm not complaining. If I can get her to eat more food, I will be grateful. So this is what we're doing. I don't love her, peeing all over my counter and pooping all over my counter, but if it gets her to eat, then it gets her to eat, and that's what we're gonna have to do. All right, so I took the idea that because she was on the countertop, maybe she likes to be up high. So I grabbed the only table that I had and built this really makeshift cage, and like now she's out and doing stuff. So I guess she just really hated being on the ground, or maybe my feeding session really helped her. I honestly have no clue, but yeah. Oh my gosh, she's literally doing zoomies. This is working, and then her water bottle is still in her hide. I don't think that should be an issue. The table's a little shaky. I don't really know why, but it's kind of all we got. So it's just gonna have to do. She doesn't seem too bothered by it. All right, it's time for an update. It is the next day at about 11:30 in the morning. I fed her this morning at 8 a.m. It didn't really look like she had pooped or eaten much in the cage last night, despite seeming like very active before I went to bed. So I got her to eat more this morning, but I have not gotten her to poop. So I just got back from class and we're working again to get her to poop. She's eating, but I haven't seen her poop, and I haven't seen anything that looks like fresh poop in the cage, but she did just pee earlier. I'm just working to get her to poop right now. I have to go to work in about an hour, and I would really like to see her poop before I go to work. So I'm giving her, you're going to try, this is a Shearwood digestive supplement that is like dissolved in water, and I'm going to try to give this to her. She's been kind of rejecting the syringe feeding now that she's more active in eating on her own, so it might be a little bit difficult, but I think this might help her poop and stuff because she's not pooping. I've been giving her belly massages. I gave her Benebac this morning, so I don't want to give it again, but yeah, I'm just working to get her to poop right now, but she is eating hay on her own up on the counter. All right, so I'm gonna share a little update with you guys. I honestly am not sure when the last time I filmed and updated you all was, because I just feel like today has been like just one big blur of trying to get her to poop. So I have done 3 separate feeding sessions today. One this morning, one this afternoon, which I think is when I updated you guys, and then one this evening from like 6 to 8 p.m. Like it was a longer session, and I did not see her like poop and leave something behind until the evening session of feeding. So I think that session went really well. She ate a lot of hay, especially because I was like standing there with her for like 2 hours. So she was eating for 2 hours, and she produced 4 okay poops. And so I gave her more Benebac, and then I put her back in her cage, and since then I have seen her eat veggies in the cage. I don't know if she's eaten any hay, but she has eaten veggies. So I'm not going to do another feeding before bed. I'm going to check on her in the morning and maybe do a feeding then if she needs it. So yeah, that's the update right now. I'm just pushing through. As long as she continues to eat, that is good. I just would like to get her digestive system working a little bit better. And then eventually at some point I would like to take her to the vet because I have other concerns as well. The reason I put off the vet is because I was worried with the way that the car ride impacted her the first time, that doing a second car ride might even set her back even more. So unless it was an emergency, I was sort of holding off until I'd stabilized her eating and digestive system. So that's what I'm trying to do now. And once that is done, I will try to get her to the vet for a checkup, which would be nice if I can get her in. My vet is usually pretty busy, but hopefully I can get her in sometime after like her eating and digestive tract is stabilized. But I'm going to bed. It's late. I'm tired. This is so exhausting because I also have like other health issues going on with some of my other pets. So it's been definitely an intense week, but I'm pushing through, and I will be back tomorrow with another update for you guys.
All right, everyone, it is now Thursday at like 11 p.m. and I have not updated you guys all day long, and I have a lot that has happened and a lot to cover. So I'm gonna try to get through it as quick as I can. So basically this morning, 8 a.m., I attempted more feeding. She ate hay, she ate veggies. I gave her Benebac and infant gas drops. She did not poop. At 1 p.m., my boyfriend took her out. I was away at class and work and I wasn't able to be home to feed her. So he fed her veggies and hay and she ate that. He didn't do any syringe feeding because he's not comfortable with that type of stuff, but she did eat hay and veggies. She did not poop. So at about 2:30 p.m. I called my exotic vet and asked what I should do basically, because she like hadn't pooped a lot and I was just like kind of stuck on what to do. They said that if she's not pooping, it should be considered an emergency and I should take her to the emergency vet. So at about 4 to 5 p.m. after I got off work, I took Stardust, which is her name, by the way, that I'm keeping. I'll get into more detail about that later. But I took Stardust to my emergency vet. So the reason that I had waited to go to the vet was because I didn't want the car trip to set her back, because the first car trip caused her to not eat for like literally 2 days. I had to syringe feed her. So I was afraid that another car trip would set her back again. But I was at a loss for what more I could do to help her poop. I felt like I had done everything in my power and I had spent so long doing those things and I hadn't seen improvement. So I decided that the vet was the best course of action. And so I took her to my emergency vet and it was just a drop off there because of COVID. They're not like letting you come inside or anything. So I literally just dropped her off and left, and they called me back with updates. So basically what happened at the vet is they took her vitals. All of her vitals looked completely fine. And then they did an x-ray on her. The x-ray showed that she was a little bit, I would say moderately bloated was what they said. They said like moderately like descended was like the term that the vet used. The vet said that it was confusing that she looked a little bit bloated because of the way that she was eating, the way that she was acting. Like it didn't really make sense to her. So she was confused by that. And then she did poop for them when they were taking the x-rays. So they did do a fecal test on the poop then, since she pooped for them. And the fecal test came back with something. So Stardust has a internal parasite. It's called coccidia is the name of the parasite that she has. And the vet said that it's often common in guinea pigs, but it doesn't always show symptoms unless they're like experiencing stress. So it's likely that this move and new home just stressed her out so much that this parasite started acting up and showing symptoms. So because of that, I have a 10-day course of treatment for this parasite that she has. And because I have to do the treatment for 10 days, I'm not going to be bonding her to my other girls until she is done with that treatment. So for the time being, I have moved her back into my bedroom. The way that she was in the pig room was not going to work long term for me to be able to move around in there, as well as I don't really want it to spread to my other pigs, the parasite. It's unlikely since she's not sharing a cage with them, because it's only spread if the other pigs were to like consume her fecal matter. But just to be safe, I've moved her back into my bedroom. Also just makes it easier to navigate in the pig room now, since she's not like right in the middle of it. So she will be in here for the next 10 days, at least while I do her treatment for her internal parasite. And then she's also on some meloxicam for the next 4 days, just once a day. And that is to help pain and anti-inflammatory stuff in general, help with her stomach. And then also, I really don't even know if I mentioned this, she was having some issues on her back left leg where she like wasn't exactly putting pressure on it a lot. Like sometimes she would walk and she would run fine on it, and then other times she would hold it kind of awkward. So they did do the x-ray on her foot as well, and it came back that like it wasn't like broken or anything. They didn't see anything on the x-ray, and they said not to worry about her foot. She probably has just sprained it, and unless it gets worse, it's probably not a big deal. And then meloxicam will also help with helping with her foot heal from its sprain or whatever happened to it. That is the update. Oh, they also gave her fluids at the vet, like they gave her fluids under her skin, and they also gave her a vitamin C shot. So that is everything they did at the vet. And the total vet bill for all of that was $560. So that was how much I spent at the emergency vet today. And it's not what I was expecting, but I'm honestly partially glad that we at least have an answer. Like at least there is a parasite and it is treatable, and like it is something that I can actively treat and something that like we have a solution for. So that was kind of nice. Not that obviously she has a parasite, but that it's something that is easily treatable and something that like I can start treating. So she's here behind me in my bedroom. She hasn't eaten since we've come home, which is to be expected. I'm going to be doing another feeding before bed tonight, and then probably just let her be throughout the night and then feed again in the morning. Going to be feeding water and critical care is what the vet said I should continue doing. Even if she's eating on her own, it's really helpful to do the water and the critical care feedings. So that is what I will be doing. Feel like I'm trying to make sure I covered everything. I'm sorry this adoption vlog was not like a fun and exciting like adoption vlog, which is what I was really hoping for. I was like, adopting my dream guinea pig, like that's so fun, that's so exciting, like. And then here she is, and I'm having all of these issues with her. But anyway, yeah, I'm also keeping her name, like I mentioned. I'm keeping the name Stardust for her. I just think it fits her really well. And I know it kind of breaks my food name theme, but every other name I thought of, like nothing was as good of a name as I felt that Stardust was. I don't know what is up with this breeder I got her from. Obviously, like she did not have her stuff together. Like I'm glad she's shutting down her program. She's not doing like more guinea pigs. She's not breeding them anymore. Like she's done with her program. She's just rehoming them. I'm glad, because like I messaged her and I was like, look, like Stardust has this coccidia internal parasite. Like I'm sure all of your other guinea pigs that you're breeding also have this parasite because of the way that it is contagious. And anyway, it's a whole mess. And yeah, that's it. I definitely was not expecting this rehoming situation to go this way, but I will try to give you guys some updates tomorrow and probably end the vlog tomorrow. I would like to end the vlog on a positive note, so I'm hoping for some positive improvement tomorrow. But that is all the updates for you guys tonight. I'm very overwhelmed and very exhausted, and I hope I touched on all of the points that I had meant to. So yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. So I'm just gonna film an update. I was doing the feeding tonight, so this is the same day after she went to the vet, and we've got so many poops. She's sitting on a lot of the other ones, but this is just an example. She is pooping a ton. So I'm really happy I took her to the vet. It's really looking up. And I've been trying to syringe feed her, but she's taking it okay. But you can see she's got quite a mess on her chin. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she's got a mess on her chin because a lot of it dribbles out, but I'm just glad she's eating and she's pooping. Alright, so sorry for not filming any updates today. It is currently Friday at 8 p.m. I'm about to give Stardust her 2 medications, meloxicam and the one for her parasite. So I have been doing critical care and water syringe feedings every 4 to 6 hours. So I have did 1 last night, and I have done 2 so far today, and then I'm about to do a 3rd one, and I will do a 4th one before bed. But she has been pooping, not as much as I saw last night. That was like a literal miracle or something. Not as much as that, but she has been pooping more, so I'm definitely going to take it. It seems like we are starting to look upwards and starting to make improvements, and now that I've got this anti-parasitic, I am feeling good that she is going to be continuing to make progress. So this is going to be my last update on her, because at this point it's going to get just sort of repetitive, me giving her her meds, her eating a little bit, pooping a little bit, slowly improving is what I'm seeing. She pooped a little bit last night from what I could tell, and then she pooped again in my afternoon feeding, and has been pooping in her cage since then. So it's looking uphill for sure. Poop's not quite normal amounts yet. It's still a little bit less than normal, but at this point, poop is good and improvement is good, and that's what's happening. So I'm feeling very good about that. I'm just gonna give her her meds as well as some critical care, and then that will be my last update with her for this video, but I probably will have another video in the future out with more updates. All right, everyone, good morning. It is Saturday, and this is going to be my final update on her. I do genuinely think that Stardust is making improvements. I've seen her poop throughout the day yesterday. It wasn't as much as a healthy, normal guinea pig would poop, but it is definitely poop, and it is definitely increasing and improving. I syringe fed her again this morning. She pooped again then, so I definitely think that we are on the mend. She is improving. I'm going to continue to do the critical care feedings until I feel that her poop is a regular amount and her water intake is a regular amount. I don't need to keep doing that. So I don't know how long that will be, sort of just a personal judgment basis, but probably at least like the rest of this weekend and maybe on Monday as well. But before I head out and end this very long vlog, I wanted to say a couple more things about the breeder that I got her from, and just be sort of more clear on my thoughts on the whole situation, because I feel like I kind of didn't elaborate on some of my opinions. So I did message the breeder about what had happened and about my vet bill, and she did send me $100 to help cover part of the cost of the vet bill. But as you guys remember, the vet bill was $560, so $100 doesn't really, like, it helps, but it doesn't really make up for the fact that she objectively sold me a sick guinea pig. Like, when it comes down to it, the guinea pig was sick. Like, Stardust had coccidia. Like, baseline, like, that's kind of what it comes down to, is that she wasn't a healthy guinea pig. So yeah, and I have a couple notes here that I just am looking at to make sure that I like hit all of my points here. So Stardust had lived with her for 1.5 years and had never been in a car. So like, I get it, things happen, guinea pigs don't always go in cars, but I just feel like that like made her very unprepared to go to a new home, like extremely unprepared. When guinea pigs haven't been in cars and they're in a car for the first time, like that's terrifying. So that definitely like was another layer on the situation that made her adjustment a little bit harder. And this breeder, I found her on Facebook. She was in like other Facebook groups full of like ethical breeders who like are conscious about their breeding and all of this stuff. So on the outside, she did appear very ethical and like very knowledgeable about what she was doing. I will admit that I did not do as much research into her as I should have, and that was because I was viewing this situation as a rehoming situation. So most of my guinea pigs are from rehoming or adoption situations, and when I go into those situations, I sort of just like expect that things may not be perfect. Like some of my guinea pigs were rescued from like really bad housing situations, bad diet situations. So I'm just not like used to sort of asking a bunch of questions into like the care. And because this was a rehoming situation and not like me buying a baby guinea pig from this breeder, I didn't do as much research, didn't ask her as many questions as I could have. So if you guys are looking into getting a guinea pig from a breeder and are trying to find an ethical breeder, definitely ask more questions than I did. Let this be a learning experience from me to you guys. Ask more questions than I did, and definitely make sure that you have an emergency vet fund in case things go wrong. Like, I happen to have an emergency vet fund and just have a savings that I was able to use for Stardust vet visit, because I have that in general for all of my pets in case anything goes wrong. So definitely be prepared for situations like that. Ask more questions of your breeder than I did to make sure that they're an ethical breeder. I should have asked more questions, and that's totally on me. I just was viewing it as a rehoming situation, and asking more questions was not a thought in my mind. I was like, it's a breeder, she's rehoming, it's fine. Like, because it was rehoming, I didn't go in much depth with my conversation with her as I should have. And also something to note that should have been a red flag for me, she asked me 0 questions about my care. Absolutely none. Yeah, she asked me 0 questions, and I figured it was because I knew she was having some like family and personal issues. That's the reason she was shutting down her program. So I kind of figured like she's going through a lot. Like, she's just trying to find her pigs new homes. Like, asking these questions that she typically asked, like, isn't her first priority, was what I was thinking. And I sort of gave her the benefit of the doubt with that, assuming that she was going through something and just trying to find new homes for all of her pigs. Like, it was a desperate situation. She's like struggling with this. So I gave her the benefit of the doubt with that one. But yeah, she asked me 0 questions. I was the one who mentioned that she would be housed with my other females. She didn't ask about that, but I think I mentioned it in like my first message. But she didn't ask me about diet. She didn't ask me about care. She didn't ask me if I had an exotics vet. Didn't ask me any of that. It probably should have been a red flag, but I wasn't thinking much about it because, again, I viewed it as a rehoming situation. So if you're looking for a breeder and your breeder is not asking you those kinds of questions, just take that as a red flag, because if they're an ethical breeder, they should be caring about the kind of homes that their guinea pigs go to, and they should be caring about whether their guinea pigs are completely healthy, because ethical breeders are not in it for the money. They're in it for the guinea pigs. So if you're ethical breeder, or if the breeder you're looking at is not asking you questions about your care, and that's a red flag. Like, I'm gonna put it out there. It should have been a red flag for me. That should be a red flag for you. And yeah, my last point that I kind of already hit on, do your research, prepare for emergencies. That's basically it. If you're looking to adopt a specific breed from a breeder, or there aren't any rescues in your area and you don't want to get from a pet store and the next best thing is an ethical breeder, just do your research into that breeder. Ask them questions, make sure they're asking you questions about your care, and yeah, just be prepared for this. Be prepared for things to go wrong, and getting a guinea pig from any type of situation, even from a rescue, like, make sure you do your research into rescues. Like, if you're doing a rehoming situation, definitely be prepared for this kind of stuff. Pet store pigs, I don't recommend adopting from a pet store and supporting that, but if you do, again, many pet store pigs are sick, so also be prepared for that. So I hope I hit everything. I hope this all made sense. I hope you guys, I don't know if enjoyed is the right word for this vlog. I hope you guys, I don't even know the word to use. I feel like enjoyed is the wrong word. I hope this vlog was useful and informational and possibly entertaining. I feel like maybe it was more anxiety inducing than entertaining, but it's fine. Here we are. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you again next week. I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate all of your love. My PayPal will be in my video description if anyone wants to help support Stardust and her vet bills. It will be down there. Absolutely no obligation. Just thought I would add it as an option if anyone is looking to show some additional support. It will be down there. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again next week with more updates, more videos, more content. Bye-bye.